Y'all listen, I don't know who you are, but God knows who you are. And he said this: stay away from that psychic, from that soothsayer, from that fortune teller, from that tarot card reader. Stay away from that witch, wizard, and warlock. What they are practicing is spirit of divination, which means what they have gone into the spirit realm illegally to access information. And Jesus calls them thieves. He said that he's the door. Jesus is the door. And if anybody come in any other way, they are a thief. I don't know if you know it or not, but when there's a thief and they have broken in and stolen things, and if you go to that thief and ask them, can you have some of the possessions that they've stolen? Listen, when you have that possession and the authorities come, when the authorities see you with that possession, they're going to clank and lock you up. What am I saying? Anytime that you receive any information from those who are working from a place of spirit of divination, that means you have come into covenant with the altar that they bow down to. You have come into covenant with their strange fire. And here's the thing, they have to do what? Make sacrifices to their altar, to that strange fire. And you may say, they didn't ask me to bring a chicken, they didn't ask me to bring a rabbit's foot. No, they did ask you to do those things, but however, you are paying them money. You are giving them something. And guess what? Anytime you give them something, there is an exchange. I'm here to tell you that you are receiving more than information. You are receiving more than information. You are. You say, well, they told me the truth. They told me what my grandmama looked like. They told me everything about me, what happened to me when I was a little kid. Of course they did. Of course they did. And of course they were on point. They were on point with it. But that was for them to get you to be in a vulnerable place, to let your guard down so that they can have access to your soul, to come in and wreak havoc in your vessel, in your way of life, your livelihood. Of course, they're going to tell you things that are true. Some things that you need to understand is this, that the enemy does not have access to all the information about you. The enemy is only able to tell you things what has happened to you of the past and some things of your now. But the plans that God has for you, he don't have access to all of that. And what the enemy will use, he'll use familiar spirits, monitoring spirits, to get information concerning you. And there you are thinking that these people are the bomb.com are legit. And what you have really have embarked upon is that you have put yourself into the fire, into the strange fire. And whenever you're in strange fire, you become consumed. The only fire that we are not consumed in is the fire of God when we are in right standard with Jesus Christ. Because he's a consuming fire. And whenever we are in right standard with him, his consuming fire does not consume us. It protects us. It protects us. So God is telling you, leave those people who are working spirit of divination. He said, leave them be. Leave them alone. Because what will happen is that you will have an exchange with them. You may go there, pay your money, or give them whatever they tell you to bring. And they'll tell you what you want to know. And you may leave relieved, thinking that your problem is now over, thinking that things are all well now. But truth be told, that you have now come into agreement for the enemy to now come in and rip you to shreds, to devour you. And there you would be, where you used to be healthy. And now you'll hear the doctor say that you have now been diagnosed with this and that and the other. Your marriage was on point where y'all was lovey-dovey, but now y'all are like cats and dogs going at each other, okay? Your children was doing fine, but now they act like they losing their mind, right? They ain't doing well in school. They so disobedient and hard-headed now. And you're trying to figure out what's going on. I'm telling you what's going on. You have come into covenant with their altar. You have given the enemy access. He has legal authority to be in your life. To be in your life. And the sad thing is that people that entertain these people who are working with spirit of divination, they don't even associate them partaking with the witch to be the reason why they are in the problems that they're in. And therefore what happens? They stay stuck in the turmoil, in the terror, in the curse. Why? Because they don't know what the real enemy is. They don't know what to target to rid what's going on in their life. They don't know what to rebuke, reject, renounce, denounce. They don't. They're blinded by it. They don't know what to loose off of them. They don't know what to bind up. They don't know what to consume with God's fire. They don't know what to cast into the abyss. And because of this, like I said, they stay bound. And some of them even die in that bondage. They die in that bondage. And can I tell you this? It's not just sinners who are plagued like this. It is also those who say they believe in Jesus Christ. It is also those who are righteous. Why? Because God said there are some of us who are unlearned. You have unbelievers, and then you have unlearned believers. Unlearned believers are those who will make it into heaven, but they'll live a life being beat up by the devil because they're unlearned. That's what God says in his word. He said those who lack knowledge and those who have no knowledge, they perish and they are placed into captivity. That's what God said. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray. If my people, that means he's saying these are my righteous ones, which means what? We can be afflicted. We can be afflicted. We can be pulled in a snare. We can. When we're not what? Sober and vigilant. When we're not watchful and prayerful. Y'all, this is a long one. I hope y'all stand with me. But I'm here to tell y'all today that God says stay away from those who are working in the space of spirit of divination, who are witches, warlocks. And don't you know you have those in the church as well? You have people who say they're prophets, but they are not working with the spirit of prophecy, which is Jesus Christ. They're working from another spirit. You've got to have your act together. When I say act, I'm talking about you got to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. You got to acknowledge him. In other words, acknowledge God in all your ways so that he can direct your path. And he'll allow you to understand that that's not him, that's not him, that's not him. And God allow you to understand that's my servant, that's my servant. I said this. Yes, they telling the truth. But when you don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, you'll get caught up in a snare. You'll be saved and still caught in a snare. You'll be saved but still bound. Okay? Does that make any sense? So stay away from the psychics, the soothsayers, the tarot card readers. Don't entertain them. Jesus said he's the way, the truth, and the life. Anything you need to know about anything you need to be delivered from, he's the way. Jesus is the way, okay? I got to go. I know it was long, but I had to tell y'all what God said because I don't want y'all to be in a space where you're bound, okay? God said that he has given us his son, Jesus Christ, so that we may be free. Whom the son set free is what? Free indeed. So let us stay free. Let us not be entangled by the traps and the devices of the devil, okay? Let us be wise, okay? Let us be wise with God's wisdom so that we may stand in our truth, which is what? God's victory. I got to go. Y'all know I love you, but most of all, Jesus loves you too and more. Stay blessed and stay free. Ciao.